My name is Egon Cholakian. I am a particle physicist, international tax and IP law professional, federal lobbyist, and intelligence community educator who has devoted decades of research to studying the impact of climate change on national security. The current state of Earth's climate is an unprecedented catastrophe, a mortal challenge to our entire civilization. However, the paradox lies in the fact that a significant portion of humanity remains unaware of this catastrophe's full scale and reality. Therefore, today I'm appealing to representatives of the rational and thoughtful portion of humanity, those responsible individuals who possess capacity for critical thinking and objective assessment of the current global situation. I'm reaching out to you, regardless of your field of expertise, provided your intellectual acumen allows you to accurately analyze the events unfolding before you. I appeal to you, if your intellect transcends primitive thought. I appeal to you, if you harbor concern for your future, your loved one's future, and the entire humanity's future. I appeal to you, if you have not lost your sound judgment and the ability to think clearly, for it is incumbent upon you, intelligent and thoughtful individuals, that everything now depends. The future of humanity truly rests upon your shoulders. I now wish to draw your attention to a grave and alarming issue concerning the entire world. Russia, that is, the Siberia portion of Russia. Russia is a robust and dynamic country with a developed economy and vast natural resources. However, as of today, Russia is a threat, a clear threat to the existence of all mankind. And Vladimir Putin has nothing to do with it. The threat discussed below is not related to the sanctions our government has imposed upon Russia, nor is it related to Russia's war with Ukraine, a de facto confrontation with NATO. Still, this threat is related to what Russia values and is so proud of, their own Siberian territory. Siberia is an immense part of Russia's territory, abundant in natural resources and boasts a unique flora and fauna. Encompassing a substantial portion of northern Asia, Siberia includes tundra, coniferous forest, and mountain ranges. Siberia stands as a pivotal strategic asset for Russia, often deemed a bastion of its security. However, I now wish to converse with you about a different aspect of Siberia, a Siberia that is undergoing alarming changes in its subsurface. These changes indicate a looming and unprecedented global climate catastrophe. And this catastrophe is not only for Russia. At the same time, I wish to caution those who find a certain joy in this matter, those who pursue an active anti-Russian policy, and those whose intellect falls short of comprehending the gravity of the situation. Do not rush to celebrate. Numerous compelling facts indicate that the events unfolding in Siberia could lead to the disappearance not only of Russia, but also of our world as a whole, including America and other countries collectively. I want to emphasize that this catastrophe is not merely a possibility, but an inevitability if we remain inactive. Moreover, this will occur not in some distant future or the next millennium, but merely in a matter of years, shortly ahead of us. Let me put it this way. If a child were born today, they wouldn't even have the chance to attend school before the world ceases to exist, along with each one of us. Such a scenario is highly likely if we allow indifference and inaction to prevail. First, I would like to give you a brief and clear understanding of this urgent problem. What is happening in Siberia? First and foremost, look at this map, which presents a genuinely alarming sight for those who understand the essence of the processes occurring on Earth today. Look at how the colors are distributed on this map and pay attention to the bright black-red spot located precisely in the Siberian region. It contrasts sharply with the rest of the world, doesn't it? And this dark spot is a matter of great concern. Why, you ask? What does this map reveal? It identifies temperature anomalies stemming from the core of our planet that are deviations from the average temperatures. You can clearly see the territory of Siberia has already experienced an extreme deviation from the normal temperature. And this deviation is more than 5 to 7 degrees Celsius, which is equivalent to 45 degrees Fahrenheit. In reality, this is a massive value, considering that in other regions of our planet, temperature deviations are routinely measured within 1 to 2 degree variances. But in Siberia, there is a very alarming 5 to 7 degree variance. This means that the entire territory of Siberia is warming at an accelerated rate 2 to 3 times faster than the rest of the planet. This is a scientifically confirmed and accepted fact. Be advised, this same alarming rate of heat measurement is increasing every day. Please take a look at the following graph, which provides an analysis of the dendrochronological data covering a span of 7,000 years. Upon doing so, please pay attention to the long black line. It shows how the number of temperature extremes, anomalies, in Siberia have exponentially increased over the past decades. This information is merely parroted from information provided by a peer-reviewed article by the scientists from the Russian Academy of Science. Due to the accelerated rate of warming in recent decades, Siberia has experienced a record growth in the number of extreme climate events. The frequency and intensity of forest fires are ever increasing. Peat fires are occurring even under winter snow coverage, and permafrost degradation is accelerating from the bottom up. What is particularly concerning is the increased manifestation and activation of lithospheric faults in the Siberian region. This is evidenced by the intensification of heightened seismic activity in atypical regions of Siberia, including around fault lines. Unprecedented boiling of water is observed in wells located directly on these faults. There are extreme increases in geothermal anomalies in Siberia. The number of gas emission craters is increasing in the northern regions, with intensified methane and hydrogen emissions being realized from the inner Earth. In the event you have not yet noticed, mud volcanism on the Arctic shelf is becoming significantly more pronounced. All these facts unanimously point out that the dynamic warming of Siberia today, which is 2 to 3 times faster than the rest of the world, is primarily due to an increase in endogenous heat coming from the Earth's depths. Siberia is warming from below. This situation demands interrogation. What is causing the increase in endogenous heat beneath Siberia, and why does this matter now warrant our undivided attention? Now I will provide a detailed explanation of this matter in its logical cause and effect format. Research conducted by competent Russian scientists have revealed that in the late 1990s, an unprecedented event occurred within the Earth's interior. The Earth's core experienced a jump, a sudden shift in northern direction from western Antarctica to western Siberia, specifically to the Taimyr Peninsula. This displacement led to the deformation of all mantle layers and the asymmetric heat distribution from the Earth's depths. As a result of the core's pressure towards Taimyr, deep magnetic hotspots formed beneath Siberia, actively lifting magma closer to the junctions of the lithospheric plates. Consequently, heat accumulated beneath Siberia's upper mantle layers, and the thin lithospheric crust started the process of melting from the magma. In essence, the rates of lithospheric melting are accelerating due to the increasing temperatures and fluidity of the magma itself. The cause of this phenomena is the ocean's loss of its heat-conducting function. Due to ocean pollution with microplastics, which accumulate in its waters due to human activity, the ocean cannot effectively cool the lithospheric plates and consequently the magma beneath them. In other words, the ocean is losing its ability to dissipate excess heat from the depths into the atmosphere. This leads to the heating of magma and its more active ascent towards the surface, a phenomenon observed not just in Siberia, but in various points around the planet. To fully comprehend the scale of this threat, please consider the graph provided by the National Oceanographic Atmospheric Administration of the United States, which illustrates the alarming dynamics of the heat accumulation in the ocean. I want you to please pay particular attention to the following graph by Berkeley Earth, which illustrates June's average temperatures in the North Atlantic Ocean. Notice how much higher the temperature for 2023 is compared to the previous years. This indicates not just a simple increase, but a clear exponential progression of temperature rise. A rational person should simply extend the exponential trend line of both charts to realize the massive and severe changes that await us in the very near future. We are seeing the result of the ocean's death right now and right before our eyes. The previously mentioned map showing temperature anomalies on the planet with the bloody maroon spot in the Siberian region starkly captures its death, the death of the ocean. Please look at the map one more time to better comprehend and realize that this black spot is, in reality, the vortex of our demise. It reveals a horrifying process unfolding. That is to say, as indicated in my introduction, the activation and intensification of magma activities within Siberia's depths have increased dramatically. So what now awaits us? The uncomplicated, simple, vividly clear answer is, simply place a cube of ice on a heated stove. What happens? The ice melts quickly. In the same manner, the heated magma erodes the plate, which melts just like our ice cube. It's that simple. This is what is happening right now beneath Siberia. Continuation of this unchecked process will lead to just one highly predictable outcome: a global catastrophe capable of destroying not only Russia, but also the entire world. What can we now do? In order to counter the looming threats of climate and geodynamic catastrophes, it is necessary to first understand the root causes, that is, the collective shift of the Earth's core, the rise of deep-seated magma, the increase in seismic activity, both at the surface level and in the deep focus earthquakes across the entire Earth. All point in one direction, an increase in the Earth's internal energy. But where is the source of this additional energy? The answer to this question has been found, proven, and publicly disclosed by the scientists of Alatra for many years now, as I've numerously asserted in the past multiple times. According to the research conducted by the interdisciplinary group of scientists from Alatra, the primary cause of climate and geodynamic changes on Earth is the external cosmic influences that transfer additional energy to the Earth's core, leading to activation of magma flows that erode the lithosphere. This cyclical process occurs once every 12,000 years, with a more destructive phase occurring every 24,000 years. This cyclical impact has been the cause of many global catastrophes on Earth in the past. Today, the cyclical external influence is bringing about our end and the end of our entire planet. The situation is exacerbated by the fact that ocean waters are polluted with microplastics, disrupting the thermal conductivity and its ability to dissipate excess heat from the Earth's depths into the atmosphere. We have disrupted and nearly abolished Earth's cooling mechanism that has been functioning effectively for billions of years. In turn, today, we are endangering not only our own lives, but also the life of the entire planet. Under the influence of this external cosmic impact, other planets within our solar system also cyclically experience changes. That is why, synchronously with Earth, other planets in the solar system also show changes related to their core temperature patterns, rotation dynamics, atmospheres, and electromagnetic fields. In particular, just like on Earth, where a specific region, Siberia, is experiencing warming due to core destabilization, similar pinpoint healing phenomena are observed on other planets and satellites, including the Moon. This is also linked to the transmission of additional energy to their cores. Occurrences of climate changes not only on Earth, but simultaneously on other planets of the solar system indicates that the anthropogenic factor is not the main cause of the current climate challenge, as some claim, but a cosmic influence of a significant magnitude, which scientists from Alatra warned about a decade past. Thus, this external cyclical influence transmits additional energy to the Earth's core, which, when converted into heat, excites magma flows that destabilize the lithosphere. This has culminated in the exacerbated warming now realized in Siberia that cannot be explained by any other causes. This process will accelerate and spread to other parts of the world. Siberia is just one of many regions under the threat of a massive cataclysm due to the increased energy within the planet. Other dangerous points on the planet, such as the Yellowstone supervolcano, could also trigger a global catastrophe. Moreover, there is currently no trend toward reducing the progression of growth and intensity of climate and geodynamic extreme phenomena on Earth. Instead, there is a tendency for them to worsen. Our world is very small, and the risk of its loss is immense. It is crucial to realize that we are entering a period of large-scale catastrophes and natural disasters that could potentially devastate humanity and our planet in the coming years. Hence, today humanity is confronting two pivotal issues that demand our immediate attention and resolution. The first pertains to the external cosmic influence, which is already inflicting irreparable harm upon our planet. The second is the dead ocean, which catalyzes even greater warming within the Earth's depths. Solutions do exist, and we possess an understanding of the necessary actions. No single nation on Earth can independently address these issues. This is due to the current state of nations divided and lacking consensus, cohesion, and a unified stance even in the face of this lethal climate threat. It is no coincidence that science, too, is fragmented. Each scientist specializes narrowly within their own field, and no one scientific domain perceives the entire picture. Similarly, the field of geology is likewise divided into myriad disciplines that fail to interact. Separate research endeavors occur within each discipline, yet an overarching data framework is clearly absent. Under such circumstances, how can we comprehensively understand what is actually transpiring within the planet's climate? Everyone witnesses the escalation of anomalies in Siberia and observes abnormal shifts across the Earth's layers. Yet, there are no definitive explanations that would even slightly bring us closer to escaping this dire situation. A uniform understanding of the current issue is utterly lacking in the scientific realm. To foster such comprehension, the international scientific community must genuinely and deeply delve into the study of this matter and view the world as a cohesive whole. I was able to form such a holistic perspective when I acquainted myself with the research of the Alatra scientists, scrutinized their calculations, and confirmed the accuracy of their conclusions regarding the state of our planet's climate. Please allow me to draw a brief analogy regarding the state of the modern scientific world. Envision, if you will, a literary experiment in which a renowned, influential published work is quite literally deconstructed and reformatted into independent, succinct books, embracing solely the lines of an individual character, alone. I can only imagine what this would do to the storyline. In this regard, since my dialogue is centered on Siberia, a significant region of Russia, I am going to select the late Monsieur Dostoevsky and his masterpiece, Crime and Punishment, as my example. If penned in this modified manner, Dostoevsky's brilliant and influential work would have become a series of short stories, not reflecting the full idea of the piece. Consequently, no one would capture the essence of the author's story, and each person's opinion would be shaped solely by individual character lines. This precisely mirrors the state of modern science today. The division and fragmentation of research prevent us from perceiving and comprehending the complete picture of what is transpiring. Only when we construct our novel with the influence of all characters will we then be able to embrace these stories' holistic content. This collaborative mission must be accomplished in the shortest possible time, while we still have an opportunity to render an impact. At present, we are in a critical situation marked by an unprecedented historical surge in climatic and geodynamic anomalies on our planet, powerfully destructive catastrophes, and an impending total collapse. The current situation is characterized by two main factors that pose a threat to humanity. The first factor is the external cosmic influence that increases the Earth's core energy. The second factor is the disruption of the ocean, which impairs its ability to cool the planet's depths and dissipate excess heat. The imperative for the global scientific community is to urgently establish a unified international scientific center, combine our efforts, and identify methods to eliminate both of these threats that endanger humanity. First and foremost, we need to shield the planet from external cosmic influence, remediate their consequences, and eliminate the fires and catastrophes that have already occurred and continue to happen. To achieve this, we must develop an external shield that safeguards us from all cosmic radiation. Secondly, we need to revive the ocean and restore its heat-conducting function. We possess foundational knowledge to achieve the required results and still have a chance to do so. However, whether we succeed depends on each rational individual capable of comprehending the essence of the problem and acting in accordance with that understanding. I am now addressing all rational and thoughtful individuals. If you feel the gravity of the situation and the magnitude of the looming threat, and if you can draw parallels between the climate graphs that amply project the progression and see the alarming exponential rise of catastrophes, then I implore you, please do not remain silent. Instead, take every opportunity to explain and elucidate the essence and peril of this global catastrophe to all those who have not yet chosen to open their eyes and comprehend it yet. I want each of you to open dialogue on this topic, remembering that there is nothing to slow down the pace of escalating progression that is leading us and the entire planet towards our own self-demise. Be bold. The sooner we elucidate and educate the mass public on this looming global challenge and catastrophe, the sooner political forces will elect to act responsibly on the matter. While we remain fragmented and in conflict with one another, politicians cannot and will not consolidate. Instead, they will perpetuate their habituated political practices, condemning the world to ruin. Only global awareness of the imminent and inevitable catastrophes and their causes and the timelines will compel politicians to act urgently and unite the world. Why is it so crucial for politicians who embrace our archaic beliefs to align with the interest of contemporary humanity? Simple, because today only politicians can make the final decision to establish a unified global scientific research center aimed at providing salvation for humanity and the entire planet. This is an absolutely essential measure. All fields and disciplines of science, regardless of their specialization, should come under the administration of the single center. The primary focus of the global scientific community must fall under one umbrella if we are to counter climate collapse and ensure our survival as a civilization. Our survival does not depend on the release of new models of smartphones, fashionable cars, or secretive supersonic missiles aimed at our destruction. However, our survival does depend on world science uniting into a single scientific center as soon as possible. We will not survive if climate catastrophes continue to progress, dismantling our planet and our lives. The occurrence of problematic climate behavior is increasing at a frightening rate of accelerated frequency, annihilating human life in its path. The devastation evolving from adverse climate activity will wreak destruction upon Earth and will eclipse the impact of contemporary weaponry visited in a battle zone. In fact, soon, even missiles won't be necessary. If unchecked, the climate will exterminate us all at such pace and in such quantities that wars will be rendered obsolete. Yet world leaders still produce weapons of mass destruction and do absolutely nothing to stop the looming devastation of our planet. At this moment, we are approaching the active phase of a 24,000-year cycle. It can be said with certainty that based on this exponential trend, we will not make to the cycle's culmination. This is fact. If we elect to do nothing, I need not remind you of the outcome. I emphasize once again that we will not be able to survive without an immediate unification of science. We will not survive without a unified scientific research center capable of gathering all knowledge, the finest global interdisciplinary expertise, and directing all of this towards salvation of humanity. Every day we delay in this sentence for all of us, we will perish more frequently and in greater numbers. The further this destructive process advances, the fewer opportunities and resources we will have left, and the fewer scientific centers, laboratories, and observatories will survive, until total chaos sets in, when we would then lose the ability to communicate, undertake life-saving research, and/or any preemptive action whatsoever. It is imperative that we now unite world science and reform international relations globally. Only politicians can bring this about. In the face of rapid and unprecedented climate change that threatens the security of the entire global community, politicians and economists must devise a new model of a unified planned economy. This model should be grounded in a comprehensive assessment of climate risk and analytical forecast of catastrophic consequences. The unified economy should consider the geographical location, resource potential, and infrastructure development of each country, while also promoting collaboration and international coordination. Every nation must actively participate in this global process. Countries possessing the necessary capabilities must take measures to ensure the food security of the entire global community. This entails creating strategic food reserves. Additionally, it is crucial to enhance the resilience of all nations' infrastructure against impending climate catastrophes. It is imperative to promptly reassess building norms and standards, introduce materials and structures of heightened durability, and construct new buildings and cities in safe zones, considering the geographical peculiarities of the region and the evolving climatic and geodynamic characteristics. All global industry sectors must be redirected towards preventing and mitigating the consequences of climate catastrophes. Production of specialized equipment, both construction-related and rescue-oriented, must be scaled up. While preserving their integrity, each nation must become a part of a unified global economic zone tasked with consolidating all resources to ensure the survival of the entire civilization. Henceforth, there must be a single political strategy worldwide centered on the salvation of the planet and the survival of all humanity. Politicians must urgently find common ground and end all international discord and divisions based on political, national, and linguistic principles. All disagreements must be erased. All wars must be halted. Rhetoric founded on recognizing that all of humanity is in a unified family facing a shared threat of survival must be instated. We have nothing to divide in the face of death. In reality, nothing separates us. Right now, we are bound to be one realization of one enormous looming catastrophe. Faced with this adversity, we must unite and do everything we can to save our world and humanity. It is imperative to open borders so that people can freely move and adopt to different countries without waiting until they are compelled to move from disaster zones to the remaining safer regions. In doing so, people will move around the world within a unified economic zone, ensuring that each individual, regardless of location, is provided with housing, food, and essential necessities. Additionally, unified rules of interaction must be developed, guaranteeing the protection of individuals' rights and freedoms, regardless of whether they are climate migrants or host communities. In the context of the global climate crisis, where humanity faces the threat of total extinction, it is imperative that we reevaluate the role and functions of the military forces. Immediate reorganization of all military structures is required, shifting their focus from solely military activities to activities aimed at ensuring collective security and saving lives. The priority is not only the reprofiling of military personnel, but also the repurposing of specialized military equipment for tasks related to emergency rescue operations and rapid response to extraordinary situations. This year, we have witnessed glaring examples where catastrophes have, within mere hours, obliterated entire cities in the United States, China, and Japan. Where were the military forces during these times? They did not come to aid civilians, and even if they had, what service are they trained to provide? Today, we are ready to wage war against each other, but we are not prepared to fight for the survival of humanity. However, we cannot continue existing within this paradigm. If we wish to live, we must alter our global behavior. Yes, this might be unfamiliar ground to contemporary political leaders. And yes, this behavior would constitute a new world. But this different world must be constructed. It is a world that entails ending all conflicts and setting all existing industries on the path of creation and unity. A world that identifies climate change as a common threat to our universal existence. I would like to emphasize that the issues of external cosmic influence and the death of the ocean are the matters that should take precedence in discussions within the United Nations headquarters. It is precisely this threat to all of humanity that we should be deliberating upon at the UN podiums rather than on any other topics that do not bring us closer to survival. Today, I address all rational individuals on our planet. I particularly wish to speak to those who own the world's media organizations. You are just as human as we are, with loved ones for whom you built your empires. You have ambitions and plans for the future. If you want your family lineage to continue and your influence and media empires to endure, and more importantly, if you want your life to be preserved, allow journalists to speak the truth about the climate. If you silence and prohibit your journalists on your media platforms from speaking the truth about the climate, people won't fully grasp the gravity of the situation. Consequently, they will remain inactive. Soon we will enter an era where there will be no internet, no television, or telephone service. We will plunge into chaos, where your money, your empires, and your power will lose all significance. The sole concern for you and your loved and dear ones will be simple survival. However, in this impending scenario, you will sadly realize that you can no longer change anything. You will be powerless. By then, you will have lost all your media resources, thus losing influence over the masses, and your empires will be shattered. Your only chance to preserve your empire is to align with humanity and contribute to informing people and uniting all scientists into a single scientific research center. If we swiftly find a solution to create a shield against external cosmic influences, and if we revive the oceans, only then will we have a chance to save our empires and pass them on to your children. If you value your life and the lives of your loved ones, and the lives of all of humanity, stop silencing journalists. Allow them to convey the objective and honest truth about the global climate change I have discussed today. People will be grateful that you stood on the side of saving humanity and the entire planet in this critical moment. By taking the right step as rational and sensible leaders, you provide a chance for all of humanity, for your lineage and for yourselves and your empires to survive. To achieve this, you must align yourselves with the people and with the future. Otherwise, there will not be a future for humanity. My address today is directed towards all sensible people who possess critical thinking skills and who are capable of analyzing climate anomaly graphs, which assess the magnitude of progression underlying the gravity of this looming tragedy. Your human duty at this moment is to elucidate the essence of this glaring problem to those who may not comprehend it. Be forthright, articulate in simple and comprehensible language what people must do now and why the world's salvation rests upon their shoulders. You must convey the truth to humanity. You must deliver the diagnosis that the patient must know. Today, the patient is all of humanity, and the diagnosis is life-threatening. Every rational person today must become a doctor, sharing with the patient the diagnosis that threatens the very life of humanity. If we are unaware of our diagnosis and the fact that we are mortally ill, we will continue in all inaction. Inaction will kill us. It will dismantle our global human organism. Only when we all become aware of this diagnosis and its causes will we then know the truth. Our collective human aspiration is directed toward survival rather than destruction. Politicians will act, otherwise they will perish. Only when everyone knows and expresses their demand for life will politicians be compelled to act appropriately. Otherwise, they will continue waging wars to cling to power until our entire civilization descends into utter chaos. As humanity, we must now have a single shared goal: survival by any means possible. We need to restore freedom and rights to people in furtherance of maximizing their ability to survive. For millennia, politicians have divided us, making us hate and fight each other. But the time has come for reason, mutual respect, and unity. Otherwise, by remaining divided and hating each other, our inaction will continue to lead to our self-destruction, ultimately resulting in the total demise of our entire civilization. However, if we change the global rhetoric right now, alter the rules of the game in international economics and politics, and focus on uniting science and humanity, we will have a chance to survive. This is what should have been done yesterday. If we delay any longer, we won't have the opportunity to halt the impending climate collapse. What we face today is no longer just a question of supranational security. Instead, the matter at hand is simply, as humans, do we wish to survive or not? The survival of our civilization depends on all the actions of every reasonable individual right now. Considering the catastrophic progression of disasters and the immense challenges humanity will face shortly, it is essential to create conditions where everyone feels human and is guaranteed protection regardless of location. To achieve this, unified laws and regulations are necessary to ensure that the rights of both those forced to migrate and those receiving migrants are mutually respected. An isolated group of countries cannot resolve this matter. It can only be addressed through the unity of the entire world. This is a shared disaster, thus the solution must be collective. As of today, politicians are not prepared for this. The solution is a genuine challenge, not only for politicians, but for all of humanity. We will not avoid catastrophes, chaos, division, and universal death if we remain inactive on this pressing matter. At this late moment, we still have a limited opportunity to save humanity. To do so, it is imperative that we act in a collective manner right now. We mustn't face this paradox where the species Homo sapiens, or wise human, becomes extinct due to a lack of wisdom. May God and science help us all.